what do we do next? Well, we got to put on tailpiece. Got to cut the bridge. So I'm not in very good shape today, but things still got to get done. So here we are. So something that you always need is your center line. Pretty much never a stage at which you don't need your center line. So we are going to reclaim our center line here so that we know where to put the rear strap peg and attach the tailpiece. I marked that with purple on purple. That's not incredibly useful. So since this is a dark color, silver Sharpie would be a much better choice if I could find it. So purple Sharpie mark has disappeared into outer space. So I'm going to reline this up. And that Sharpie was pretty much dry, but good enough. Okay, so there's some things we gotta do between here and being done. Strap buttons, pickup system, tailpiece, rear cavity door, up the check.
I got one finished.
No, not really. Should charge that overnight, but I didn't. Something I forgot to do is I like to install the strap button for the front onto one of the neck screws. I'm really not sure if that's a good or a bad idea, honestly. I mean, you could just as easily put it in front of the neck plate, or sometimes people put them down here on the neck itself. That's just something I like to do. So the thing is, though, often the neck screws are a little too wide, so you gotta drill out the neck strap button just a little bit in order to get that in there. So I'm gonna get a block of wood, hold it down on there so that I can put more force downward on the drill. Okay. So, after all that, is the hole now big enough for the screw? Looks like it. Sure hope so. Screw that back in. Try again. So what do I do about all this exposed non-black metal? Yep, Sharpie marker. Sharpie marker. If you ever get it on skin, just get some rubbing alcohol. Takes it right off skin. You're welcome. It's a free tip. All right. So that's on there. What's next? Tailpiece. So, if you recall, we marked our center line there, and that is because the tailpiece has to be installed along the center line. This one has 3 screw holes. They vary, but basically, what you have to do is you have to install the middle screw along your center line. And that makes sure that the strings will be coming back to the middle of the instrument as they go across the bridge. Now there is some room to fudge this. These tailpieces bend pretty easy, kind of in this L bend, so you can kind of finagle it after it's installed if it's off. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And I like to drill an additional hole, center point to this guy, to put in the other strap button. So first we're gonna install the screws that came with the tailpiece. And you'll notice that there's one big screw and two little screws. And on this tailpiece, there's one big hole and two little holes. So, it's pretty clear what we're supposed to do there. So I'm going to line this up with my center line that I drew on here. And I'm going to use my awl substitute. This file to mark the holes. And I'm just going to drill really shallow starter holes. Just to get something going here. Now remember, the point of having an oak core is that these installs that go down the middle are going into oak and not into pine, so it makes it a lot more stable. So get our electric screwdriver. Normally be doing this sideways like this, but when you're filming stuff, you gotta do weird things. So we got our big main screw going in there. That's the really important one. This thing sturdy and locked down. And we have our two additional screws. Which I need my smaller Phillips head tip for. And those basically just kind of keep it from turning, keep it in place. Oops. Well, I bent that one. I'm gonna start looking now, see if we have some replacement screws we can use here. Yeah, I have a couple of shorter, fatter black screws here that have a bigger head. So I'm gonna use those instead. Much better These really small, thin, cheap Chinese screws just can't do anything with them. Alright, so what we got here? Like I said, this is a little malleable. So here we go. Bent it. Just a little, kind of by putting pressure on it and torquing it a little. That alignment definitely looks better. Okay, so now that we got the tailpiece on, we need to drill the additional hole for the strap button. And then I got my strap button, I got a piece of felt, and my strap button screw. And same story as usual. I find the center point. Find the center point I want it to go, which is down the center line and then even from top to bottom, the depth of the body of the instrument. I'll put a mark there. My all substitute. This isn't a great angle for leverage. There we go. So the strap button screw goes through the strap button, goes through the felt, and screw into the hole. There we go. Strap button in there on the end.